Hey people, good evening for another day of streaming live in the evening. Oh, I seem a bit dark. I messed with it yesterday. Something like that. How are you all doing? Is anyone here? It's the wrong day. Oh, there's 23 people here. What is going on in the pre-stream? Because Draadstaal posted a few messages and it was then deleted. And then wait. And then he even did it. This is what? The podium is complete. Okay. I'll pop the champagne. I don't know what's going on. People are deleting messages. There was even a donation that was deleted by Philip. Philip? What's going on? Can you explain yourself? Johnny's here. Oh wait, we're still having too much music, huh? There. What's going on in this pre-stream? Yeah, thank you, Draadstaal, but what's going on? I need an explanation. I wasn't here, I was still eating. I did see the super chat, yeah. Is Draadstaal here? Did you ban him? What is happening? I'm waiting for an explanation. I don't know. Maybe I should check on Discord. Where's Discord? Here. Nope, nothing on Discord. I don't know what's going on. You put him in a 60-second timeout, but it deleted everything. Oh, okay. The Chief Excommunication Officer. Right. Check random stuff. Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, all the names are hidden because I'm in streamer mode. Hold on. Disable. There. What did that? It's too much to read. What? So when was this 60-second timeout? What time? Is he back already? Draadstaal, come on, we need you, buddy. No, Draadstaal's okay. Why is there a bare wire here? Oh. I just noticed on my desk... Wait. There was this... Why is this camera black? What's wrong? There. I noticed on my desk that this wire was here. But it seems it's ripped out of one of my ferrules. but when was the 60-second timeout? I mean... So this was connected to my power supply, my 24-volt power supply, but it seems to have ripped out of the crimp. Oh well, we don't need it today, so I'll fix that later. Like 10 minutes ago? Oh no! Oh, no. Need to get rid of this wire somehow. Yeah, okay. Let me see if I can unban him or something. Put user in timeout. Hide user. Add as moderator. Let's add him as a moderator. Save. Dradstal, you are now moderator. Let's see if you can now type. Yeah, my YouTube is also saying he isn't here. Oh, nice! Mods can't mod mods. Okay, Dradstal, I guess you've been promoted to a Livestream admin. Who mods the mods though? I do. It's me. I'm the admin. Anyway, oh, we're still in pre-time. Hello, I'd barely come. That's actually not too far from here. Hello there, John Coe. That film is totally out of control. Who mods the admin? YouTube. If I go too far, YouTube deletes me. She isn't home yet. She was actually out for the weekend, so I knew I had some time to play with it. So I've been installing and testing it, and it's been doing great. I've been doing a little bit of fan tuning, and so far it's really good. Are we in 60 FPS? Yes. Who mods YouTube? I guess the government? I don't know. Hey there, Kevin Henry the 8th. So, I was going to check who's all here. Jacco Weiss is here. Nigel Young. Leon Vos was here. Oh, Ben is printing a DIN rail clip to mount a fan. Oh, okay. In its LoRaWAN box in the loft. Cool. James Thornborough. Are you printing that in ABS or a P2G? When can we order, says Evlo. I'm still working on it. That's what this whole stream is about. It's me working on the stuff. But it'll get there. It'll get there. Oh, Kitty? You want to see Kitty? I don't know if you can. No, you can't. Wait, I can do it with this cam. Hold on, Kitty. I will show the Kitty on the cam. Where's the side cam is turned on, but not over here. Kitty? Kitty. Oh no, he left. He left before I could get him on the camera, I think. Let me check. Is this now working? Yes. Kitty! No, I heard the living room door. He wasn't interested. Sorry. I can go get him. Hold on. This stream is all kinds of out of control. Wait. He's not very interested in the stream today. Sorry, no Kitty. Maybe he'll come by later. I'll have the camera prepared here. But yeah, no Kitty. Okay, that should be okay. Turn this off. Yes. Philip is totally out of control. Yeah. No, she has a very nice, I think 100 hertz 1440p display with G-Sync and stuff, so should be okay. Alphabet mods YouTube, yeah. The red dot, our little heart. It's our little heart. I'm not streaming on the right day. That's true. That will create some dimensional instability in our reality. I get that. 50 watching, only 8 likes. I always imagine that those people who aren't liking are like watching on a TV or something, and their TV is so old that it just doesn't have a like button. That must be it. I mean, what could be the other explanation? That they are not pressing like? I don't know. I mean, what's not to like? Philip.exe has some bugs. Bug feature, yeah. So it's now 17. I shouted a bit too much. It's now 17. So I got this giant box from PCBWay, not sponsored, although I do use them a lot. And they keep contacting me about Oh, no, wait. That's not, forget that. That box was not properly concealed. So anyway, it's not sponsored, but they try to approach me for sponsoring. I'm just too, I don't know, too lazy to do it, I guess. We got some red boards, and do we remember what the red boards are? Do we remember? I have to move with all these address leaks. Do we remember what the red boards are? These are for the power diff, or as it has hence been renamed, diff power boards. And there's actually a new board here. So let's take a look at these boards. We're not going to be playing with these boards today, I think, but we might at some other point. I should have scissors here somewhere. Simultaneously on TV and iPad. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, right. I need to cut this closer. Red boards are the most you spend most sweat, blood, and tears on. Yeah, maybe. So first off, we have no. I need to start with this board, and then we can do it in a logical order. So I do use PCBWay a lot. I do that for all my prototypes. Not for actual production, but for my prototypes. So these are the newest revision of the non-focusing. Okay, the Quinled diff power, hashtag power diff, sender 1. And so this is a newer prototype which has some slight improvement and changes. It didn't change too much from the previous version, but some little things. Like adding a protection diode for when you short the RS485 chip and stuff like that. So I will build that at some point. And then we have the power diff receiver, if it wants to come out of its shell. This is still not what we're going to do today, but, you know, it's fun to take a look at. So this guy, it's a lot bigger, is the Quinled diff power, hashtag power diff, receiver large. And this one is that takes the buck converters. So it takes these buck converters. This one, for instance, is for 30 to 72 volt in and 24 volt out. It takes that, and you can install it on top if the mounting holes line up this time. And I think they actually kind of do. So this one, oh wait, we can check over here. No, I moved it. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it's good enough, I think. Anyway, the mounting holes should line up over here and over here. And that will take in whatever is coming through the UTP cable that goes here and transform it to 5, 12, or 24 volt. and we can get up to 5 amps, 10 amps, or 5 amps, so 20 amps in total if you're using 5 volt. If you're using a different voltage, you can't get that much out. But these will be auto reset fuses, and it has everything from the Dig Octa system, so it has broken fuse indicator lights, nice and beefy output terminals, and some other things I improved on there. So that is a newer receiver board. Everything is also now on the back and silkscreen and all nice and tidy. Right, so even if it's all hooked up, you can still see what it all does. And these are VCC BF, so buck converted and fused. Hey. Okay, and then we have a new board, and that's this guy, and this is called the Diff Power Receiver Mini, because, well, it's a much smaller version, which is for no, not these. Let's see if I can find one real quick. There. Which is for these buck converters, which are a lot smaller. This one is 60 volt in with 12 volt output, and of course you can get 5, 12, or 24 volt. In theory, this lines up. In practice, it looks close enough. I can always adjust because these are still prototypes. So then you can mount these on top of each other with some standoffs, and, well, as you can see from this buck converter versus that buck converter, that's a lot smaller. That's why this is the mini. And in theory, no, I didn't have these for 5 days. I received these on Friday. And in theory, you know, especially if you're doing 12 volt or 24 volt, you can still get a decent output. It only has a single fuse, so no power distribution and fusing and things like that. But yeah, for other situations, this should do very nicely. So I'll be building that at some point to test. I guess that's already also the secret, huh? That I'm working on developing Power Diff further. And that it now has a new name, Diff Power. Next to Diff Solo, which I hope is going to release next week. I guess that's another secret. I hope Diff Solo is going to release next week. And then next to that, we're going to have Diff Advanced. But yeah. That is all not what we're doing today. Today, well, we have some stencils for the boards I just showed you. Today we're going to take a look at these guys. These are actually quite big. And these are the latest prototypes for the analog boards. So for the pre-assembled analog boards and the two bigger ones. The AN Mini I have sent off to production, so that is currently in production. Could still take a month before it's done, etc. And this is the AN Decapenta, as its code name. It's not its final name yet. And this is a PCB for the AN Hybrid Hexa. It's also still a code name, not final name yet. And these are not functioning prototype boards, because these have been produced in 2-layer instead of 4-layer. Because 4-layer boards of this size, that is quite expensive. If I want 5 boards, I'm paying like $120 or something like that. So these are just 2 layers to dampen down cost. But what we're going to do today, because I already know all the circuits and electronics work. What we're going to do today is I have these enclosures. And these are the enclosures I want to house the analog boards in, right? So they come apart like that, and they are 2 parts. And you can stick them together like so. But then if you put the PCB board in there, well, you know, still not really a finished product. So what I did, and this was also new for me, I had some more boards made. And this, for instance, is a front panel. Oh, It's not liking that. Okay, this is a front panel for the Deca prototype name, with all the cutouts for the connectors, the antenna, and what all the connectors do. And we also have one for the back. And we have the same thing for the hybrid hexa the deal here. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a version of the latest prototype boards, which are those, but in 2-layer, because I didn't need them functional. We're going to solder on the connectors, and then we're going to see if they fit inside of this housing, and if the front plates fit. We don't care. When can we finally buy them? Oh, man. You do know that it actually takes work to get these things done, right? I mean, I have to work on this stuff day and night, and then the only answer is, yeah, that's all nice and all, but when are they done? Well, after today, we'll be a whole lot closer to them being done. How's that? Gravity is annoying today? Okay. You want them all. Okay, that's cool. Well, I hope there will be some demand. I'll probably be making them in batches of 250 and then see how it goes, but yeah. Okay, so we need one of these. Oh, that's right. Sorry, Philip. But so much analog stuff needs to be driven in a reasonable way. Yet I agree there. My whole house is, like, the whole studio and everything is all analog stuff. But, you know, the focus has been on digital for a while, but we will now focus on analog it's on the highest priority there is. So to get the analog boards out is basically the main thing I'm focused on right now. So these are 2-layer versions of a 4-layer board. So they will be non-functional because, you know, I had to make this design in 4-layer because the density, especially on this one, the component density and everything else and the power needed, it just wouldn't do it on 2 layers. Oh, you've been waiting on the hybrid board. Yeah. Hybrid's working great. So you got Ethernet, you got 5 high-power analog channels, and then you got the buck converter option. That's going to be cool. And a digital output. They look good. Although they won't work, they look good. Got all kinds of nice test points on the back. Also on this one. So we can do probing during testing and flashing. Good. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the soldering iron out, and then we're going to be building these boards. You can actually see an outline of an ESP32 here. I had an ESP32 of which this one. I had to stick it down so it went over here, and I replaced the W room module. This was one of the modules I got back that we've had an increase in failed ESP32 boards recently, so I'm trying to get some back on my cost, if they'll allow me. And this one, everything was fine, so in the end I replaced the W room module, and then it worked. Very strange, very strange. Anyway, today we're going to solder on all the connectors on both sides, and then we're going to see if it fits in the case. That's basically what we're doing today. So if that's boring to you, I'm sorry. But maybe you can stay for my great personality. How's that? Chalk outline. No, this actually, it's revived, so it's not dead. Do you think you mounted the ESP in the wrong orientation, though? I did? No, this one works now. What? It was mounted like so. Well, probably, you know, kind of like this, but, you know. Anyway, now I have a nice outline on my cork surface so I can stick them in there and they don't move. I think what we're going to do first is gather the connectors. And there's actually some connectors I've never used before. And those are these. We need 3. Can I have a bucket? What? These are new connectors because of how it needs to go into the case. On the previous boards, I had, or in the previous prototypes, I had these barriers. I did. Mostly here for the magic smoke. Well, there will be flux smoke. So, on the previous designs, I had these barrier terminals because I really like using barrier terminals. And although that works great, when it's in the case, yeah, that's just not going to fly. So I redesigned the boards to have these angled connectors. Yes, these boards are going to come in a case. That is correct. So these will have angled barrier terminals, and well, this is also the first test with those. I figured they would be okay. Power-wise, they should be fine. Oh, okay, I can't really keep them on the board because I had to move the footprint so it sticks out enough through the housing, basically, and we'll see if that was good or not. Well, I don't know. Yeah, and the idea is you have your barrier terminals on the front like that, so you can screw in your cables. And yeah. Okay, let's hope that works out. So I'm going to sort out all the cables we need per board, I guess. And then we can get started. Why are these coming in cases? Well, I think a lot of less DIY-y people actually find it a problem not having a case around their product. They think like, okay, a Dig2Go is easy to use, partly because of a case. And then a Dig Uno is very hard to use because where do I put it and how do I protect it? And then they put it on something metal and all kinds of crap happens. So I'm going to be releasing some products in cases, and this is one of the first that will have that. Well, the Dig2Go was actually. Hey there, Adam. Right, we need some 7-pin connectors, I believe. Yes. Okay, and we need the counterparts for those. Nope. Crap is magic smoke. Exactly. Oh, and I got some terminals for the power diff stuff, because on there I'm using also a new type of terminal. Those are these. These are nice too. But anyway, that's not for today. But you would rather have the boards without a case? Is that what you're saying, Adam? Let me get my box for USB-C, Ethernet, and STEMMA QT. Sorry, I got distracted. Okay, let's do this side first, because we also need some... No, do we? Yes, 5-way... Let's see here, 5-way, 5-way, 5-way. You do your own the PCB design for light switch? Are you the guy from Groningen? Okay. This one doesn't have any other 3.81s, so that's easy. From where? Groningen, here in the Netherlands. If you're not, then you're not. That's okay. Is it? I don't remember. Okay, so okay. So we're done with these. You have some strawberry red filament that looks pink. What? Let's see. Do we need 3 ways? Yes. We need one here. And one over here. Then we need some 2s. Okay, that sounds cool. Hello? Oh no. Okay, we might have found the first error. And that is that the holes aren't big enough. Damn it. It's always something. That's gonna hinder our plans quite considerably. Damn it. Let me check that. Hold on. Need more 2s. Yeah. I probably did a footprint change at some point. And it changed the screw holes. But then how did it work on here? Or this version of the terminal I have has thicker legs. Let me check. Nope, wrong side. Do these have thinner legs? They do. Oh. Interesting. So we'll at least be able to do this one. Okay. Oh, and we'll be able to do part of this one. No, I didn't actually. I just chopped off the 2 layers. But maybe they get so many PCB orders from me that they don't check anymore. I don't know. Generally, they work out. Okay, so these orange ones do fit, but these green ones don't. Now let me check if I have different versions of that green one. Let's see, because we need others here. So this is a 3-way. Yeah, it also doesn't fit. Jesus. No, they will alert you if you do something stupid in your design file, but they don't really check electrical connections like that. I think it's not for me. So let's see if I can find some 2 ways that will fit. Sorry for the cracklings. Let's see, would these fit? I need to check on the board. Hold on. Nope. No, it's stuck. Okay. And these, yeah, these will go in. So they do exist. I might just not have them. Yeah, if you try to produce something that's just basically impossible, they will tell you. No, they can't fix design errors, and if it's electrically sound or producible, they will build it for you. Oh, this sucks. I really wanted to test this. Maybe we'll hammer them in. We'll see. These were non-functional prototypes, remember? Maybe it's finally hammer time. So let me get this one out and use this one. And I think we then have all of them. No. Okay. Well, that would make a giant mess. So one we can build fully completely. Well, let me see. I didn't stack my box correctly, so now I'm not sure I'm going to get it in. Good enough. Good enough. There. Okay. Right. So, oh, we still need to get those. Okay. I didn't get any in here, did I? No. 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 Okay. So let's see how much we can't get them in. Oh wow. Yeah. It just really doesn't fit. They're just too small. Okay. I'm actually literally going to try and hammer these in. So I'm going to try and put them somewhat in the right spot. These go here. I think either since the prototype, the footprint changed, or we used different connections on the pre-production run over here. Yeah, we use different ones. They have smaller legs. The more you learn... No, making them hot won't help. I mean, the metal won't suddenly give way. I can drill the holes larger, but I'd have to find a drill to do that. I don't know if I actually own such a thing. I am going to try and hammer them in though. But this desk isn't really suited for hammering at all. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to try this in the garage real quick and then see. Then I'll come back. Hold on. Well, those don't need any soldering anymore. Look. Well, they're in. No, this I need. They need some extra love taps, but this desk will break before they go in. I think I had to hammer it pretty hard. So let me give them some extra taps. But oh no, the PCB bent. Okay. Pressure fitting is actually a thing. Well, yeah, of course, sure. They're actually pretty straight. But the most important part is that they're flush with the housing, I guess. Yeah. Well, this is a totally legit way of doing things. I'm so glad these aren't functional prototypes. That would have been horrible. Okay, so these go here. I hope I didn't make a mistake because they'll never come out of that board. Okay, so this is more or less complete. So the idea of the housing is that these will stick out far enough, as you can see from over here, that if you plug in the counterpart, that it should stick past the housing, including the retention clip here, and so I didn't need to make any cutouts. Finally use a multi-tool, the hammer, on a live stream. Exactly. Thanks, Draadstaal. Well, these are not coming out. That's for sure. I need to bend them slightly to make them fit correctly, I think. But yeah. And these are meant to be very close together because they're basically in the same space as this four-way. But then I want to have two colors there. And I noticed that if I use the open-ended ones, I can actually... Oh, I was going to say I don't have a green one. I can actually fit them together pretty nicely, right? So that's good. Oh, I didn't get enough two-ways. Put the hammer in. Okay, hold on. Here. This is the hammer I used. It is from a Quinboxed, It's a Deli home hammer number 8. And I use this side. It came through a Quinn box. Okay, let's continue. I need some Ethernet 2 times stemma QT and 2 times USB-C. Oh no, I can't reach those. Need to rearrange stuff. I didn't clean up since yesterday yet. So everything is still in the way. Okay, this is my various connector box. I believe this is going to be stemma QT. Come on. There. Then some USB-C. And then some Ethernet. Okay. So this stream starts out great. This is a stream to see if it will fit the enclosure. And at the start of the stream, we had to use a hammer. This instills great confidence. Okay, so Ethernet fits. Well, USB-C will fit too. We're just gonna tack these down. And then we got stemma QT over here. See if I got the right connector. I think so. Yeah. That's gonna be something to get tacked down there. Okay, then we need. Thanks for the donation, Drastal. That's appreciated. There. So that's all connectors. Let's move all of this out of the way for now. No, this needed the hammer. I would have ruined the screwdriver with how hard I had to punch those in. Oh, I don't need 2 Ethernet. Come on. Okay, let's put this to the side. Let's move this away. Right. Let's get my soldering iron, because we're going to just tack it all down. Oh, I need my fume extractor. Oh, and we can use this thing. Let's put this thing on screen. See if it actually works. No? Oh, there we go. So let's put that over here, I guess. Okay, now let's see how I can show you guys, and I can also see good myself. Oh, now you can't see the thing anymore. Okay, hold on. I need more light. There, more light. I'll zoom out a little bit. So, normally we start with the shallowest thing first, and that is the USB-C and the stemma QT. But of course these are now hammered in, except for these two. Then again, we only need the top side. So let's see how we're going to do this. Okay. Let's turn the soldering iron on. We need some leaded solder. Oh right, I need to clean my my little wire stuff here, brushing stuff. Didn't do it. Okay. Let's try and keep that in screen. See what actually happens. It's always interesting. Oh. Okay. So, okay. Let's try this guy first. I think I'll just tack on a little dot over there. And then I guess we try and position it. Oh wow, okay. That certainly did something. The PM 2.5 is off the chart. And the PM1 and the PM10. It's slowly coming down. Okay. Oh, 75 is already pretty high. Okay, well, how is a few thousand? That seems to have tacked on pretty well. So let me try and do the other side. Most important is that it's in the right spot. Good enough, I think. There. And now I'm just going to tack on the legs. I mean, who cares? I think I accidentally managed to solder it in properly anyway. Come on. Well, whatever. Okay, USB-C then. So for USB-C, I think we can just do the legs, and then it should be fine. It always goes great when you don't need it, exactly. Okay, let's do the other side too. Oh, there's bars on Saturday too, Johnny? Jeez. See you later. Have fun. Okay. Let's check on the back. Yeah, that should be... Oh, that's hot. That should be plenty. I mean, that's on there, so... By Johnny Bergdahl, whole weekend is bar time. Yeah, probably. Seems like it. Okay, so now let's tack on this lowest one, I guess. We'll do the technique where we tack on one and then adjust it. Totally a weekend thing. Okay. I think that went pretty well, actually. Doesn't need any adjusting, so let's do the rest of the legs. So let's make some smoke go past this thing. Doesn't want to go in there. I don't know. Yeah, when you actually build something, it always goes on crooked. Lift it slightly, maybe. Okay, that's okay. So now the board can lie pretty decently flat. So let's do all these connectors on the on this side. Okay. I guess I'll still tack them on just once, and then maybe I'll just put this over here, like so. And then it should suck. It should suck the fumes through it. See what happens. Yeah, I guess for these it doesn't really matter. Not really hitting as... Oh, there we go. Okay. I blew some in it. Okay. That looks pretty decent. They're different brand connectors, so they always sit slightly differently, but that's okay. Yep. Okay, let's do the rest. Oh, there the values go. Holy shit. I guess I don't need to solder all of these, but I kind of like soldering at some point, sometimes, so, I don't know. Okay. PM2.5 should not exceed 5 UG. What? 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 Uh-oh. Am I going to die? It's at 2,500. Okay, well that at least soldered nicely. Yep. Okay, good. I think, is it this one or RJ45? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, it's RJ45 first. That's fine. Let's do those. Exactly. Yeah, that needs to be done better. Come on. Why does this not want to go flush? I think it's okay. Let's solder droplets 2.5, yeah. There. It's a quick solder job. Oh wait, I forgot one. There. It only needs to stay on the board. It's not going to do anything. I just can't do it wrong. So let's take this plastic thing off. And see if we can get this one to go in straight. Straight-ish. These holes might actually be a bit too big. But I can adjust them now that I have the actual parts, so. So let's take a look at that. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Now let's see if I can solder that giant ground plane. It helps having a really powerful soldering iron and a big tip. Oh wait, no. The most ground plane is missing because the middle layers aren't there. That's okay. We'll have to see how sturdy this is. Should be okay, but... Nice, that's one board done. Yeah, that's a C245 handle, but I have the Ixiom T3A. So let's do the other board. Because we're going to keep in suspense until the last moment. Hey there, Sean! So we need to tack it down over there. I guess I'll zoom it in a little bit more. Let's say that's good enough. Yep, that should do. Put a spot of epoxy under the terminals? No, I'll just solder them. Oh, this terminal is now a bit mangled. Oops. Let me do these legs too. There. Again, no bridges. Okay. This is fun. Oh, I should have done USB-C first. I'm an idiot. Oh well. We'll manage, we'll manage. Okay. You can't see. Sorry. Hold on just a second. There. Let's see. Okay, most of it penetrated the board to this side, so that'll stick on fine. Oh, you can see the reflection in the meter thing. Okay, then we need this guy. But since we also have those on the other side, we're going to do the flipping trick. So I'm going to insert them all into the board, like that. And then I'm going to put this on there, like so. Check if it's straight. It is. And then just flip it over. There. So let's tack on one of them. Okay. But in theory, since they are all the same height, this turned out just fine. Yep. This one maybe a little bit. It's okay. Okay. Oh, I've never seen that Medvet. Okay. I have some third-party tips on there. Or some AliExpress tips, I guess. This focus today is really not great focus. Oh, I forgot some. Is that what you meant, Tone? Yeah, so I used to use the IUE whatever with cartridges. Oh, I'm just excited. Oh, okay. With cartridges, but this iXim station is just something else. It's really nice. Works really well. Sure, that will be good enough. Okay, let's do the orange ones over here. Let's do the flip trick again. There. Cool. Yeah, I have a dual spool holder I got during one of the Quinn boxes that I like a lot. I've been using it since then. That didn't go in straight, I think. I'll have to check that. Well, could be worse. Could be worse. Oh, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, the T38. Yeah. Okay, now we just have to do the two big ones. All right, let's remove these. I think that's mostly straight. Especially like this one is a giant ground plane here. It just soaks it up. So let's check if they're in straight. They're at least flush with the board, I think, yeah. Okay. Good enough. Okay. Well, that should be all connectors, I think. Oh, let's see if this fits even though they're this close together. I guess it does. Pretty good, actually. And it should still allow cables to come out of the top or the bottom. Okay. Now, we don't need any soldering. No board testing, Philip. No. It'll blow up. There's all kinds of weird connections on there. Stupid Windows giving me pop-ups. Go away. There. Okay. So, what we're going to do now, this is the Decapenta. Oh, this is actually on a little bit crooked. We'll have to deal with that now. Let's see, for which are these the plates? Decapenta, good. And then that's hybrid hexa. Decapenta, okay. So we need these two sets of plates and this enclosure. And the first step would be to, well, slide it in, right? So let's see if that works. Okay, it slides in. That's a good start. Slightly loose, but that's intentional because I changed the dimensions slightly. Now we can clamp it down like this. Yep. Okay, so this still slides and can go all places, but slide it in with a hammer. No need. But in theory, we should now be able to say, okay, we're going to take one of these plates, and we're going to be putting them on the back side here, and all the connectors should protrude nicely, and they do. And so I need some screws. I'm actually going to see if I can get some black FR4. So this is black silkscreen. Yeah, if it only fits with a hammer, I'm not so sure it's production ready yet. Right. Now, of course, those screw holes I can easily change, but the connectors we're using in production probably have the slightly thinner leg. Okay. Okay. So now it looks like this. Well, we'll still have to put the other side on. I'm thinking... Oh, wait. I'll have to push it in. I'm thinking this will be clear enough that these are positive and these are all negative channels. So this is the Decapenta, so channel 1 to channel 15. That should be easily identifiable. And even if you have one of these plugged in, you can still see it at the top. Or, well, not at the bottom, but that's why it's on there dual way, basically. And these the same way. Now you can see it at the bottom, although the top might be blocked. But then again, they have a different color, so in the end product, these should also have different colors. So that should be pretty clear. Now let's see if I can make this work, because I have no idea. Okay, let's remove these plastic things. Oh no, let's hope that fits. The PCB is sticking out. Oh yeah, okay. That might fit. Normally you put an antenna here in the antenna hole, but I know that fits, because that doesn't have a specific place on the board. There. Well, it's a non-functional prototype there, Philip. So let's tighten all these screws. Because that should stop the board from moving inside of the enclosure. Yeah, so maybe some slight rattling if you really rattle it around. But other than that, this is now pretty securely in there. And let's see if these are coming out far enough. Yeah, they're no longer hitting. So this little nub in there is not hitting the chassis anymore. Okay, let's see these. And this one. Well, I've been keeping all my prototype PCBs, Philip, since you said that. So, could there be a plug on the right side for the screw? What do you mean? I mean, that looks pretty good. So this goes here. Well, stemma QT goes there, but that's all visible and that should be doable. And then USB-C goes here. I see that part of the PCB. Nope. Still nope. Come on. So whenever this cork is there. Come on. Really? What's going on? My camera's borked. Oh, it thinks I'm zooming? What? No, I'm not. There. So part of the PCB is still showing a little bit. So I could probably move those holes slightly, because it is flush with the. Yeah, I could probably move those holes up a little bit. That would make it slightly better. So we'll need to test these connectors. Is Quindor your real name? No, it is not. His real name is Tony Stark. No, it's not either. Yeah, it should fit fine, because USB-C actually goes inside of the shield. So, I mean, generally they still stick out that amount. So, I would say that should work fine. Let's see, we have another one here. This one is actually connected, but I don't think it'll matter. Okay, we don't see a high wattage increase. That's good. But even these go in just fine. And these are pretty bulky connectors, so that should work okay. Well, I could make it flush, but then it could create other stability problems with the attachment to the board itself. So I'd rather leave it like this, and this is just 1.2 millimeter thickness, so that should work. I just need to move this slot slightly up. also for the stemma QT, and then it'll be fine. Also for the stemma QT, because I know the connector will fit through there. This is of course easy, right? You can see the connections on the top and the bottom, and if you have it plugged in, you can still see which connection is what. Do they line up with the holes? Yeah, kind of. And here in the back, same deal. You can easily identify if you need L3, that's this one, L5, L9, L14, whatever. Now, you can't see the plus, but you can see it on the back here, or in the bottom. Or if you, of course, have them disconnected to screw the wires in, that should work fine. So yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I need to fix this a little bit, but other than that, yeah. Let's try the other one, and then we'll try one of these connectors, because I haven't used those yet. So, this is the same deal. We slide this in here. And then we just pop it closed. Okay, it has a little bit of slack, but that's intentional. Let's do the front one first for this one. Nope, I need to get the right plates. It was quite the job to get all the alignment of the text and everything correct when you can't really see the thing in front of you. Yeah, that should be no problem at all. If you look at the USB-C plug, it doesn't encroach on the stemma QT whatsoever. Ah, it doesn't. Look there. So you can easily get that in there. And normally your USB-C wouldn't be connected anyway. I'll get a stemma QT connector later. I have a box somewhere, but I don't know where it is. But I kind of want to know if this fits. So. Alright, okay. So I need to screw this in. Okay, I need to do this while it's on the desk. A bar. What do you mean with a bar? I do not play World of Warcraft, or at least I haven't in the past, I don't know, 18 years. Wait, I don't have enough screws? Oh, I do. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that fits like that. Stupid camera, come on. Same deal, we can still see some of the PCB. Now, of course, you're looking at it from top down. But still, I can see the PCB, so I should move those holes up slightly, except for this one. Okay, other side. Yeah, they kind of merge together. That's true, Philip. Oh. Nope. So for this, it was pretty easy. It's just not always easy to get all the labels in the right spot. Okay, I need to do this while it's on the desk again. Hold on, Philip. I'll look at it in a minute. Okay. Tighten these. Okay, so let's see how this looks. Same deal, I went too low here, but partly that is because you're looking at it from the top, because if I hold it like this, and it focuses, that, well, it's still apparent. Okay, it's still a thing. Sure. Yeah, okay, let's try Ethernet, I guess. But that should easily work. Yeah. That's fine. No problems there. Okay. So this has twice times 2 times plus. I didn't get enough 2-pin. At that point I was confused about the connectors not fitting. Let me get one. Let me get them. Yeah, okay. Oh. Okay. So we got the 2-pin. Oh, I didn't need to. Okay. And oh no, that went wrong. There. I am actually going to open a door real quick. Hold on. Fumes are getting to me a little bit. Okay, so let's see how this one looks. Well, this all has the same connectors. Of course, I used 3 different brands here, so that's going to look a bit weird. But in the end, in the real production, that'll be fit. You know, that'll be one brand. 2 times positive or 4 times positive over here. This one has positive. What are you doing? There. This one has positive for the buck converter in, ground again, and then positive for the buck converter out, and then again positive for this 3-pin connector. I can't really make that different colors. That would be way too expensive. So you'll have to deal with you know, looking that up. Here we have L1. It gets a dual connector, and here's L2 gets a dual connector, and then L3, 4, and 5. Lens, yeah, it's a bit picky today. I'm not sure why. Oh, I know why. Okay, hold on. No, wait. There, that should do a bit better. Yeah, So the connections, they're also of course on the top, but with these connectors you can't really see that because, well, they basically block the text. Right? But I think that's very workable. Of course, the production model will always come with Phillips head screws. And on this side, we have the... There. We have the antenna, USB-C, Ethernet, Stemma QT, Quick, or I2C, whatever you want to call it. The button connector, so it can do up to 4 buttons. 3 of those are pulled high. It actually says it. B1 to B3 are pulled high. B4 is actually a GPIO, not just an input. Then we have 2 times ground, because these are all pulled high, so if you want to use it as a switch, you need ground. And a 3.3 volt for whatever you need it. I2C is for... no, I2C. I2C is something different. But you can get lots of pre-made sensors and modules and things like that for I2C. And then we have the power connectors, and in this case it's ground and plus instead of having dual ground and dual plus on this one. But that should be pretty clear, I think, and it supports 12 to 48 volts. Unofficially it supports up to 55 volt, but who needs that? Okay. Yeah, I2C is a specific protocol for accessories. So let's see if I take one of my... I guess I could use this one. Hold on. I need to fix this cable anyway. Because the fork came off. But we have 2 forks on this side. So let's use that to experiment how well these connectors will work. Because I like these barrier terminals where they sit, you know, flush on the board. But with such a case, that's not possible. So now we can screw them in here. These are not the same width I was expecting. Well, that sucks. I might need to look for different connectors. So let's give these a little shrink. Well, no, this is a job for the tool, for the... Oh. Well, if you're not careful, that happens. For the plier tool, I guess. So let's see, ground. And positive. Yeah, this sucks. They need to be bigger. Well, that is also an option, Philip. But I wanted to see... Let's see. We can go in from the top. That's a good option. But I wanted to see how they would come out. No, we're not doing hammer time yet. We're doing force them in time. There. But these are 9.5 millimeter, just like the other barrier terminals. So they're the same width. But there's just a little bit more plastic there, which makes these forks not fit, which sucks. So the idea is that you can put the plastic cover back on, and well, you can leave your wires like so. I get that's a little bit less ideal than you know, the normal barrier terminals. But I think, because they're fork terminals, we can just bend them slightly. And then this won't go on anymore. It's not ideal. No, you can do UART over the USB-C. So you don't need an extra port for that. Yeah. Not sure this is going to work. Well, I first need to find the connector, then get some, then redesign the boards. Stuff takes a while. Yeah, but they can't handle the current neon, and you can't use any crimps with them, and there's lots of downsides of Phoenix plugs. Next to price. I mean, one of these terminals is like 30-35 cents, and if you want a pluggable style terminal, I actually have a prototype of one of those, you'll be paying $2.50 just for the connectors. So that is not really a great option in my opinion. And even then it has issues handling the current. It will get hot. So my solution was trying these, and they're just too small to fit the crimps I like. Okay, I can get different ones of these, but then I have to redesign the whole housing, and if they take up more space, well, this is already pretty tightly packed, so... Anderson connectors, yes! I could, of course, take off one of the ground connections here to get more space. But yeah. This works okay. I mean, it looks all crooked now, but that's because this is all different brands and hammered in there and whatever. But other than that, I think this is going to work fine. This is also pretty legible. You can easily find what port does what, especially if you have the connectors out. You can easily see what connector does what. Jesus, my nose is not liking something. You can easily find what connector goes where and what it's supposed to do. So that works. The forks don't work that way, Emil Bart. No, the crimp connectors aren't touching, but there's too much plastic here. So I can't get my normal fork connectors in there. Right? So if you take this guy, which is also a 9.5mm fork connector, so this is also a 9.5mm fork connector, but on here they fit easily, right? Well, I mangled them now, but they fit easily into the plastic. You have to take the screw out to use the same fork connectors as the flat ones? What? No, what? Taking out the screw wouldn't do anything. It's just physically smaller here because of the plastic there. Of course, that was on none of the drawings. Stupid data sheets. So this one, I can force in there, but it's a really tight fit. And that's already mangled, so I mean, with a normal one, that's not going to work. Well, ring terminals, yeah, but you can't. You won't get any ring terminals that'll fit on here, because ring terminals, by definition, are wider than fork terminals, or fork crimps. Sorry. And the reason why I want to keep these crimps is because these are the exact same ones that fit on your Meanwell power supplies. So I can say, oh, you need a different crimp, but I don't want to use a different crimp because I want to use the crimps that fit on here, because those are the power supplies people will use with it, right? That's also why I want to use forks instead of normal connections, because you need a fork anyway for your Meanwell, so then better have forks on both sides. Okay, let's check that. So good mention there, Philip. Let's check that. Well, no, I can't use the same terminals as on the Meanwell. So this is an undestructed one. Okay. Philip is actually right. So I can't get it in here. Right? Because that doesn't fit because of the stupid plastic there. But I can just put it in there. And then screw it down, I guess. Let's check that. Huh. Bonus feature, they won't fall out. Yeah, okay. That is actually a good thing. I didn't realize that. Thanks, Philip. But then, how many questions on Discord are we going to get about these? Oh, my forks don't fit. Right? I'm not sure that's... Yeah, and we need to find angled one, because you kind of... Now you can't put it flat on the table. And you can screw it in the other way. Nope. Uh-oh. Oh, I got it. They do fit nicely this way. Okay, so that's a good thing. Advice, ring not fork. Yeah, except that will never fit, Leon. I have some. I should have... Wait. I should have some. Hold on. Let me check. I think... Did I? Yeah, I have rings on here. So, even beefier cable. So these are the screw-on connectors. Those will not fit. They fit on a Dig Octa. No, they won't fit on here. But they also have rings, right? But the ring is wider than the fork. Oh, okay. I'm actually surprised that almost fits. I guess I force it in there. It doesn't really fit because it's, it sticks when I let it go. But I think I can force it in there. Okay, I think I squished it down. Okay. Fits better than I thought it would, Leon. I didn't think that would fit. It kind of doesn't, but you can make it fit. Yeah, I need to see if there's any different barrier terminal we could use. Because I do want to stick with barrier terminals, or at least terminals, terminals that, how did you say that? That can take a fork terminal, or fork crimp. But then you're still left with this issue. So if you sit it down, you're still left with the power cables sticking out like that. That's also not great. So I guess this type of housing just isn't really suited for barrier terminals. Banana plugs through hole Wago connectors. That's all not practical. Let me get a prototype real quick. Hold on. Need to be flat. Flat terminals seem like that way, just sticking out the back of the case. Yeah, I tried to discuss with case manufacturers to modify this case or get it cut out, you know, like that. And then they say, okay, we can do that, but you need to have a metal bar here. But then you can't really do that if it's this kind of terminal because the contacts are exposed, and we went through that for months. That's a big reason why this product has been delayed so much, is this case. So, yeah. So at one point I made a prototype. So this is a much earlier board revision. As you can see, there's all kinds of different things on here. But I made a prototype with this connector. So this is a pluggable, I think pluggable 7.62 millimeter one. And you end up with something that looks like, I don't have anything on my desk that has that. But you end up with something that has these holes as a dimension. So these are 6.35, I believe. And you can fit a 12 gauge in there with a ferrule if you have to. Or a 10 gauge without a ferrule. But the problem is, this plug and the other side would make the product about $2 to $2.50 more expensive. And I didn't want that, so I looked for a different solution. Because this could handle the current, although it got a bit hot, because connection isn't ideal. This type of connection is much better. But yeah. Yeah, well, a $5 connector is also not going to do it. I mean, that's just too much. I don't want to pay that for a connector. Right? And I mean, these are like 20-25 cents. So that's fine. And these can actually handle the current, and that's great. Because I use them on the Dig Quad and the Dig Octa, etc. And these can also handle the current but I really don't like this sticking out, and the having to insert it from the top also isn't great. It works. That was a good tip, Philip. Just let the PCB... But then you'd have exposed contacts on the bottom still. Right? If you let the PCB stick out, like this, you'd still have these contacts on the bottom sticking out. So then basically the whole case becomes useless. And you could go surface mount, but then that wouldn't be strong enough, I think. So, yeah. I am not sure what to do there. So I mean, there's multiple options you can do. We could use a normal screw terminal here, like even this one, and then make sure you can reach it with your screwdriver from the top, and then screw it in that way. But then the problem is, this is a metal case, and if people would be dumb enough to screw it in or have their screwdriver in there while it's still powered, it could short to the case. It's not really ideal. Oh, I didn't see Philip. Sorry. Okay. So, I mean, that isn't ideal if you're screwing in this and it's powered. Yeah. Well, modifying the case is expensive. We looked into that. But having two drilled holes here for the screws, yeah, that's not too expensive. We can do that. That's no problem. So I could have a screw terminal here. Well, on the inside, of course, over here. And the holes will be outside and you could put your cables in there. But then you could only use wire ferrules or bare cable. I don't like bare cable at all. Wire ferrules are okay. But then the other side, on your power supply, that's likely going to be a Meanwell or something like it, frame style power supply, whatever. That's going to use fork terminals anyway. So then why use a cable that needs fork terminals and wire ferrules? I just think that's stupid. I don't want that. Well, this is workable, I'd say. And this is safe. I mean, especially with this cover on here. There's no way this is coming loose or touching anything on the case or this screw here or whatever. I mean, even if people screw in bare wire, it still wouldn't be a problem. But ask Meanwell to change it. No. I like barrier terminals. That's why I use them in my products, right? I use what I like. And what's affordable. I mean, this pluggable thing was okay. This would do it. But then, if I made those choices for everything on here, this product would be $80, like all the other products out there. And I don't want this to be $80. I want this to be like $30, right? I mean, well, yes, an XT60 connector would do it. But then, how many people do you know who know how to solder or crimp or whatever an XT6 connector? Draadstaal. You and I might know and be able to do it, but somebody who doesn't solder, how he buys this board because he doesn't want to build DIY, doesn't solder. How does he then crimp or make an XT60 connector to his power supply? So, you don't think this is too bad? I mean, well, this isn't crimped correctly, so this is showing, but yeah. Take them off the Meanwell. What's that going to do? These are angled the wrong way, right? These are angled the easy way, like these are. So that's not the problem. Deliver cables with it. Sure, but what? The mean walls are higher than the stick out? Well, Jamie, thanks. That's also how I came up with this solution, because, well, I couldn't really think of anything else. And I just don't want to. I just don't want to do this, because I'm afraid someone will be screwing when the power is still applied, hit the case which is partly grounded, and short everything out. So that would suck. Especially with 48 volts on there, that would give sparks. E-loxed, okay. Yeah, I guess you could code it. Generally, you see those screw holes on plastic cases. Then it's no problem. Greg, I get that, and I do that sometimes, but that's a dangerous solution, because you often let it be. Well, sure, and even if this sticks out, I mean, let's say this sticks out like so. Oh, let's get these out of the way. And you get a second one, this one here. Well, you wouldn't be able to put it on top. But then again, how often are you going to stack these boxes, right? I wouldn't think there would be many situations where you stack these boxes. And especially, I'm thinking if you get a DIN rail mount that would fit this profile, you could probably 3D print something. Having the cables stick out up or down on a DIN rail would actually be beneficial. You like sparks? No, well, I'm sure, but yeah. And actually, for these pluggable terminals, you could also get the versions that stick straight out or have a lever, so you don't have to screw anything. So I like this case a lot because it has these protrusions already. But yeah. Oh, I ripped out another cable, it seems. I think. No, that's the same one. What? Did I? I did. I ripped out the ring terminal. Wow, these weren't crimped very well. Later, Jamie. Yeah, I ripped out this this crimp again. I don't know. I need to think about this. Wonder who crimped them. Quindor of the past. I need a drink. Yeah, sure, defend something. I would certainly make those available as an option. But yeah. I believe they do exist, Guido. And I mean, even these. Let's see if we can bend these. It's exotic. Exotic taste. So even these you can bend pretty easily. like so. Let's do that with the other one. Oh, this indeed isn't crimped greatly. Okay, whatever. Okay, so now I made an angled version. Let's see if that works. Yeah, these rings don't really want to go in there. Well, there would be many articles. No, they don't really make the connection exposed. Of course, this ring just doesn't really fit in here. Oh, you can't really do that anymore because there's not enough material for it to line up. Maybe like that. No, it needs this space. So the crimp would actually need to be longer. Okay, I can screw that down. Okay, so now that's in. Can I bend it? Yeah, I guess I can. Yeah. We're running into the same problem again. Hold on. That plastic is very bent. Oh. Yeah. Okay. That plastic is now very bent because I forced this plastic into there. Right, so normally it sits like that. Yeah, so that's not great either, because now it can sit flush, but... You know, they'll come on Discord and admit they did something stupid, or not admit it, and we figure it out, but yeah. Nope, can't push the cover on now, that's true. That is true. Yeah, this needs some more thought. I appreciate the thought that this is okay. And if I really can't figure anything out, we might go with it. But this isn't really user-friendly, is it? The connector on the PSU from yesterday? You mean that extension cable? Later, Paulson. Yeah, you mean the extension cable inside of the case, or what are we talking about? It sucks, because otherwise this is actually looking quite nice. My frame rate is, for some reason, dying. I mean, other than this looks really nice. And this works really nice, too. I mean, text fell off a little bit here, but I can fix that. Now it's way too dark. Okay, let's change this a little bit. There. Later, Alexander. Glad you liked it. If you use those 12 volt or CPU power clips, and mount that in the case so people can use those to plug in. Make the case legs longer? What do you mean with the case legs? Doesn't have legs. And I did, you know, try and make this longer, so now this is okay. That'll work out. That's sturdy enough. Oh, you mean the Molex connectors? Or, well, that's not what you typically see as a Molex connector, but the power supply connectors themselves. But then I would have to supply a pigtail cable with barrier terminal on one side and something that plugs in here on the other side. Let me check in a certain box here. So this is my my large terminal connector box. So we've got some 6.65, 7.62. Oh, I like these. I kind of also want to use these in a product. No, oh wait, no, these are the giant pluggable ones, but they're hella expensive. Still might be an option though. I like these. I have so many boxes. These are nice. I want to use these, but these are also still a little bit too expensive right now. And they don't fit barrier style, so no forks or rings or whatever. But if you need to use bare wire or wire ferrules, these are pretty nice. But they're quite expensive too. No, cut out in a case I fought for a few months, and that's not going to happen. The manufacturers just can't do it. The case side's longer, making case sit higher, living room cables for it. I think you're using a translation app. I appreciate that. I'm not sure what that means. Here's the plug-in side for those. So these hefty boys, these go in here. Right? It sticks out way too far. But then you at least get beefy cable holes, that's for sure. About 30 amps, Leon. So yeah. That, yeah. I've got some more here. Yeah. I bought different types to see if those would work, but these suck. But making the case bigger doesn't change anything. No, but making the case bigger, what does that solve? The problem isn't space. Yeah, I got some really beefy terminals here. I had a project with these. They have so many legs. Look at that. These are nice. Giant blocks here to squish your cable. But yeah. In the end, I decided not to use those and go a different route. So yeah, I really like these. These are great. These are excellent. But on this style of case, it's just not enough. Trust me, I tried for months. Yeah. I'll have to revisit this, see how cheap I can get them, but because although they got a little bit warm, they could do it. So I have plenty LED strip, Emil. I mean, Philip comes in with a €5 donation. I think we should change the subject to OCD triggering labeling on the case end plate. So take a lot more time than the stream length. Okay. 45 degrees? What would that do? So, you don't like that these are spaced differently? I thought about making them 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, because if you don't, you're always going to have this spacing issue, Philip. Or is your OCD just that it has more blank spaces than the other one? I need to check my phone real quick. If you put a white bar over all terminals and then put the lettering in there for the LX numbers. You mean with these? These just happen to touch each other because I didn't have any more space. No, we're not going to label them hexadecimal, or like Jacco says. That's not understandable for normal humans. Hex solves everything. Sure. Well, that's why these are blanked out, because these are all ground. I mean, these are all ground terminals in a sense. And that's why these are just normal plus symbols, right? Wexter, I have no clue how that would work. So you want this bottom side to be longer than the top side, but then how do you close it up? Sure, we'll talk about it later. I mean, I think this looks okay. I guess I could make the white space, or try and make the white space the same as on these. So there's just a single line on all of them. That might solve your OCD. Or I guess I could make it one bar, but that's actually more difficult to do. But other than that, I mean, even though these terminals look slightly odd, because they're a different shape and size, I think that came out pretty okay. And it makes it clear that these are positive and these are all negative. And other than that, I spent a lot of time figuring out how I needed to align this and actually make it fit and get in the right place. But I think that turned out pretty good. It's pretty obvious which connector is which, and it's all in the right spot, and you know, it's readable. So that's good. That's nice. This works. I mean, this is all good. This is fine. And this can handle the power, because this is 2 times 5 amps, 2 times 5 amps, and 2 times 5 amps. So this is 30 amps. So that's pretty good. Do you think the PCB end plates are really nice? Cool. Well, currently we still have this, well, beige FR4 here. That might stay as it is. But I am looking into how much it would be to get black FR4 instead of just black solder mask. And then it would be all black. And I actually left a silver little line exposed here. And in the end product, those would probably be ENIG, so they'd look gold. And I think that'd be really nice if everything was gold, or like gold surroundings. But yeah. Slick and Pro. Well, I spent a lot of time on it, so that's appreciated, Jaco. And I think these need to go up a little bit. For the others, it's fine. Need black screws. Maybe. Black or gold screws, and then a gold bar, because this has a silver line, but it's so thin that you almost can't see it. See, it has a little silver line here. Because I didn't use ENIC, I used Hassel. But if you use gold, that'd be cool. All in all, I think the experiment is a good success. This just needs some tweaks. This is fine. This is fine because even though it's harder to read at the top, you still have the bottom side. This is fine. That will work. It needs to go up slightly. Ethernet works fine. Antenna works fine. If the case is wall mounted, will it be easy enough to remove some of the connector blocks? Yeah, sure. You can just pull them out. The gold gives the I'm paying too much vibe. Maybe. Yeah, you can. That's why these are pluggable connectors. You can just easily pull these out and plug them back in. Yeah. Yeah, I need to think about that connector. Okay, Philip, have a good night. Have a good sleep. Thanks for being around. I mean, overall, I think, you know, I can be proud of how this looks. Except these guys I need to think about. Other than that, I think these can become very functional boards, and the the FR4 as a faceplate material is very strong. It doesn't flex, and I think that's perfectly suitable. And it allows me to do this, because I looked at normal faceplates, and you're very limited what you can do on there in regards to text and contrast and things like that. And I think this is really good. What text? The antenna text? Well, if the antenna is on there, I don't really care. But we can do that as a last test. Oh, I can't actually remove it. So I have an antenna here. Yeah, I'm not sure how extending the PCB would work. Yeah, front and back are both PCB material, yeah. And maybe I'm just not understanding what people are meaning, but then maybe throw it in the Discord and we can have a look later. How's the clearance for the PCB on the inside? Basically 0, because what I wanted to do is basically hug the PCB in there. So if you look at that, there is basically 0 play there. See that? It can come out. Well, it can't come out because the connectors are in there. But the idea is that the two faceplates basically clamp this together. Absolutely not, Medved. That was horrible. Why would you do that? No. This will be done at AllNet. So they will be taking this tool and then holding this in place. And then taking another tool, one that doesn't scratch the front plate like I'm doing now. There. And then doing that. So now this is securely connected. I scuffed up the front plate a little bit. Need to work on that. Somebody asked about the text. I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, it's pretty clear that this is the antenna, right? So let's snake this in here. Exactly, it's ingenious, isn't it? Who would have thought about that? Oh. And how is that for your components? What? Oh, the clearance on the inside. That's fine. That I took that into account when designing the PCB. There. Jesus. I'm not doing a great job at this. Maybe my screwdriver is empty. 20 pair of your DIY Anna Penta. Oh, nice. Already built 5 of them. Cool. That's great to hear there, Edgar. Yeah, not a lot of people are building those because the skills required are just a little bit higher. I think it's okay, it's doable, but still. Yeah, so the idea is when you receive the product, the antenna connector will already be in place like so, and you just receive the antenna with it. It's probably not screwed on at that point, so you just screw it on like so, and you can orient it the way you need it, and then you can flip it up or down or whatever, whichever direction you want it to go, basically. But that's the idea. And I'm thinking of maybe including this size antenna or including a small stubby antenna. I'm not sure yet. Let me show you on the other camera. Right, so this is a fairly, well, it's not that huge. I think it's 10 centimeters or so. And you can also leave it like that, I guess. It depends on your use case. If you have it on a wall like that, you just leave it as is. But if you have it sitting on a table or something like that, you'd do it like that. So yeah. Greg, no. I've managed to find a fuse that is a very new product, and it's very hard to get a hold of for a good price. That has me do away with the disc fuses in these products. Yeah, the temperature sensor is a kind of a thing to deal with for sure. No, I think it's running on empty because I use it a lot. The antenna might give some ideas for the power connectors. What? How so? Yep, this needs some extra thought. Well, you know, sometimes things don't work as you expect, and that's why you build prototypes. I'm glad all the other stuff did work as I expected. And it needs some slight adjustments, but that's easy. Off to bed here, says Yako. Great looking product. Don't worry too much about the power plugs. This is just fine for me. I'll give it some more thought if I can improve it, and then we'll see. And who knows, maybe I'll release a first version as is, because these have been taking more than a year already, and then we'll improve later. But I really want a better solution than this, to be honest. So, we'll see, we'll see. Yeah, and even with the antenna in there, a USB-C connector still fits easily unless it's really bulky. These are already pretty bulky, but that still just fits fine. So. Yep. Okay, unless someone has a brilliant suggestion, I think we're going to end the stream there. It was fun hanging out, though. I mean, I could have done this on my own and just, you know, looked at it and be like, okay, back to the drawing board. But I thought I'd take you along for the ride, what it means to do prototyping and how that works. And just cost-wise, this is about $250 in prototype stuff. But, you know, because I need to get the connectors, and I need to get the PCBs, and I need to get this done, and, you know. That's the cost of designing things. If everything else is plug and play, screw connector seems somewhat off. So you're saying maybe go with this type and forget the barrier terminal? But I mean, this board, this one would need two, right? Two of those big ones. And I'll look up the cost for those again. Maybe since the last time I looked at them, they've gone down. But that would be $5. I mean, yeah. I might go that route anyway, because I don't think this is a good solution right now. But, yeah. Okay, I'm calling it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for thinking with me on this. I mean, I appreciate you guys being here. That's always fun, and I like hanging out with you guys, as I always say in the Discord server. That's why I'm there so often. And I think it's good we took a look at this. We made some giant leaps forward, because using these PCBs as front and end plates, that's going to work well. This looks nice. Most stuff here works fine too. Also on the other one, that all works great. I just need to find a better solution, I think, for these, and then we're there. Now, let me end with some people already left. A little secret then. Well, it's not a secret, really. I don't know where it went. Oh, here. So, for the AN Mini, this all doesn't apply, right? Because the AN Mini, these I just did with green front plates. For the AN Mini, this is already done and easy and you know, working. And there I just used these connectors. I had actually made it so that these connectors are more recessed. So I have some cutouts here for the connectors, so that it's actually more mini in that sense. But for the AN Mini, all this already works and is fine. So the AN Mini is currently in production, or at least I sent the files off, and we're doing component procurement and PCB production soon. So yeah. So the AN Mini will not be delayed because of this. Good. Okay, so I hope that's at least some good news then, right? And these I might delay a little bit to improve what we have now, but we'll have to see. Exactly, Piotr. I always have that when I'm thinking it's the wrong day. If I get a day extra, it's cool. If I get a day less, it sucks. Okay. See you guys later. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend, the rest of the weekend. Bye-bye. Nope.